Girlfriend accidentally pocket called me and I can hear she was. Part 2. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I asked her if there was anything she wanted to tell me. She looked confused and played it off very well. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes I probably would have believed her. I let her lie to me and then told her that I knew about Theo, that she'd accidentally called me and I'd caught them fucking around. I told her I'd found him on Facebook and seen his fucking bragging updates. While I was telling her this, she started bawling, and I've gotta admit that I was crying a little too. But I kept going and told her how much she'd hurt me, and that I'd been throwing up all week and sick about it. The only thing she kept saying was that she was sorry. The rest of the time she was crying and almost hyperventilating. She would try to interrupt but I kept telling her to let me finish. I wasn't too sure if I was gonna do this part of the plan but I had nothing else to lose so I said fuck it. I told her that I honestly believed she was the girl I was going to spend the rest of my life with, which was true, and pulled out a jewelry ring box from my coat. I'd gotten it the day before for about $15 in the same gas station as the condoms. I didn't open the box because the ring looked totally cheap, but I told my girlfriend I'd had it for a while but wasn't going to need it anymore. I threw the box into the lake and it totally looked real because of the tears in my eyes. She hadn't stopped crying this whole time and was pulling at me and begging me to listen to her and let her talk, over and over again. I don't know how else to describe it. She was having a total freak out and I decided it was the perfect time to walk away. I told her there was nothing to talk about and nothing she could say. I never wanted to see her again or talk to her. I told her that I'd left a bag of her stuff in her closet, and if she left anything else to have a friend come get it. I even mentioned that I'd noticed a bump on me and was going to the doctor this week and suggested she do the same. I made it clear that this was the last time we would ever talk to each other, and then gave her the keys to her car back and said goodbye. She tried to hug me and kept saying forgive me but I knew better and backed off. I walked away and left her there at the dock. My friend was waiting outside the restaurant, and I got in the car with him and went to pick up my car back at her place. While we were on the way, I followed through with the last part of my plan. I sent her a text message, which she would now think was from Theo since I'd switched numbers. It said, WTF, your boyfriend emailed me and knows about us. I don't want this drama, don't call or text me again. Seriously. She still hasn't written back. Yeah, she'll eventually figure it out and think I'm immature, but I honestly don't give a shit anymore. The person who suggested the text message plan was right. It's like she got dumped twice on Valentine's Day, and you can't say she doesn't deserve it. So there it is. I did it and actually feel relieved, but a little in shock now. This has literally been the worst week of my life, and I'm not sure how I'll handle it. But I'm glad that I reached out, even if it was to strangers. I can't thank you enough for the majority of you out there being helpful and understanding. And if all this makes me a dick, I'm prepared to live with it. At least I did something and didn't just get trampled and pitied. Update end. Here are some of the best comments from our community. You ruined the whole revenge with that condom thing and Theo call. She'll eventually figure out the Theo call and see you as immature, and the condom thing will make her think you cheated. She won't feel guilty anymore about cheating because of it, and you being immature will make her feel less guilty about cheating anyway. Should have kept it classy. What amuses me the most is that the op got over 1,000 replies to his post, and instead of following through on either of the two most clear-cut, upvoted concepts, vanish or expose her infidelities in front of her friends, he found the most adolescent revenge fantasy stuff in the posts and did all of that instead. I admit that what he did was amusing, but the long-term impact on her life from his actions is virtually nil. I guess Redditors need ego closure. Not a bad read, but I think you missed a real opportunity here. To not intentionally cause pain in another human, even if they caused you pain. To be honest and genuine in a time of great emotional distress, and to treat others with the dignity you wish they showed you. Here is the second story. Girlfriend replaced me with her coworker, so I give her something she'll never forget. First time posting plus mobile, sorry for all formatting issues. So the background story, I was with this girl for over 2 years and I was infatuated by her. Utterly infatuated. It was not love, it was infatuation. Everything she did would make me happy, even small things like the way she laughed or the way she walked, talked, looked, everything. Since the day I met her I knew she was the one. Boy was I wrong. So about 2 years into the relationship we kinda got distant, mostly because of my anxiety and frequent panic attacks, which I tried to control, but with the amount of stress from new work I just couldn't always be in control. Those of you who have paranoid anxiety will understand. so she got distant. I knew that she didn't want to spend as much time with me as she used to because I was a mess. Meanwhile, she got a job and things were looking up. She was somehow happier and she lied to talk about her new colleagues, and I was genuinely happy she worked at a place where she didn't have to be under constant stress like I had. Long story short, boss was an asshole. I really wanted to be there for her, but due to panic attacks I couldn't, so I tried not to get in the way of her happiness and tried to deal with my problems by myself. After I figured out I can't do it, I tried to ask her out for dinner or something to celebrate her work and tried to talk to her about my problems. This may seem as me being needy, but at the time I was. I wanted something positive in my life since I was in a shithole. At the dinner we talked and then she dropped a bombshell on me. She said she has slept with a guy from her new job. I was devastated. Mind you, we were in a 2-year-long relationship and I was working the job I hate to save enough money to pop the question and all that shit. So I just sat there in disbelief and looked at her. She was twirling her hair. It made me hurt even more and I broke up with her then and there. But she couldn't let it go. Constant calls, messages and shit, which made my anxiety skyrocket. After a couple of months she sent me a photo with her new boyfriend, guy from work, with a message: your services are no longer required. It killed me inside, so I blocked her number. 5 months later I got a call from an unknown number. It is her. She was all apologetic and shit and I was in the mood to avenge my broken heart. Since I am quite a petty person, I called my friend for a drink. My friend at the time just went through mononucleosis and I knew she was still contagious. So as a joke I told my friend we should celebrate her getting well by drinking orange juice from wine glasses. It sounded harmless, so my friend accepted. When we were done celebrating I carefully washed orange juice from the bottom, didn't touch the top of the glass, and placed it in a box. Next day I called my ex and suggested we should have romantic dinner together. And I went whole 9 yards. Cooked my meal, lighted the candles and poured some wine in advance. One in the normal glass and one in special glass. I even cut some oranges and placed them on top of the glass so that she doesn't ask why it tastes a bit orangey. So we had a nice evening and some make-up sex, and I was not afraid of mono since I had it when I was 9 or something like that. For the next month I was in a relationship with her again, and all my friends asked me why I was doing this to myself. If only you know. She was coughing and snorting and all that shit, and I knew I hit the jackpot. So she got to the hospital and it was mono. I was there for her for 3 months. Taking care of her like I was the best boyfriend ever, and when she got better she was told by her doctor she would have to wait for 6 months or so before she could normally interact with other people. And then I decided to strike. You see, you were in tough time and I was there for you and did not cheat on you or anything. Why are you going back there? It was over a year ago. Because I got you mono. Got up, left, blocked her number and never spoke to her again. I was afraid she will try to charge me with attempted murder or something, anxiety, but she never even tried to contact me. So that is the story of my petty revenge with nuclear results. Hope you bear through it. Smile. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.